been a minute. It's me, Dr. Cheryl. Hello, hello. I'm jumping on live for the first time in a year. And you know why? Because October is a very, 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 very special time in Become Passion. Dr. Cheryl Fraser helping couples land. Why? Because once a year, and it's happening in the next 3 weeks, woo, woo, I teach live to all of you a major, impactful workshop. It's online, it's free. It's called my Passion Masterclass. Click below and pick the day and time that works for you. I'm teaching it 4 times, kicking off on Tuesday, the 24th of October. I'm teaching it 4 different days and times. Each time is fresh. Each time I teach it completely live. So whichever one you choose, whatever works for you and your sweetheart, I'm there to answer your questions about love and sex. And today I want to talk about the top 3 issues, the top 3 couples issues that lead to a divorce, breakup, separation, however you want to put it, married or not married. It may actually surprise you that the 3 things that tend statistically, based on research, I'm a couples and sex therapist, as most of you probably know, Fulbright award-winning researcher in the area of sexuality, author, speaker for Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and many more. I do know what I'm talking about. I'm a PhD scientist. I was accepted to Harvard for my postdoc. I chose a different school that had an even better program than Harvard. So everything I'm teaching you is legitimate. This masterclass that I very much hope you'll be joining me to really take a deep dive with me is going to go much more deeply into these 3 causes of breakup and divorce and the 3 antidotes, I'll call them today. So the first one won't surprise you so much. The major pain point for couples, a lot of complaints, a lot of pain and upset around this is repeated, ugly, repetitive, going nowhere, pointless arguments, including ugly fighting, where you get sarcastic, you name call, you may threaten to break up with your partner, you may say, I'm out of here, who could ever deal with you? And worse, verbal and emotional abuse. I'm not casting shade on anyone, I'm keeping it real. Why? Because this is real life and this is real love. And we tend to bring our ugliest parts of ourselves to our relationship under stress and say and do things we wouldn't do to our boss or our closest friend. But in addition, my friends, to ugly fighting, repeated patterns, what feel like entrenched issues between you and your sweetheart that you can't get through, there's also low-grade bickering. Some of you fall into that category. You don't have the ugly name-calling arguments. If so, bless you. Let's keep you strong in that department. Let's help teach you how to keep preventing the ugly, destructive arguments. But you may bicker, complain, pick at each other, or you may be conflict avoidant. You may be a couple who don't talk about the big important things, about your sexual life, what's not going well, about money and how one of you's spending, and the other one thinks that the one who's spending a lot is being irresponsible. We need to be saving for the future. The 3 biggest things, by the way, that couples, according to research, generally fight about are money, sex, and your kids. Sound familiar? So in a big grouping, how you communicate is one of the main reasons that lead to breakup or divorce. And that is a major chunk of the work I do. And I'll take a deeper dive into that in the Passion Masterclass. Again, the link's below for you to jump on and pick the day and time that works for you. Bring your sweetheart, bring a glass of wine, bring a notepad. Actually, we'll send you a workbook to help you get ready for that workshop anyway. And you'll hear more about communication, what I call the intimacy aspect of the passion triangle, the 3 keys to great relationship. The second reason people break up, this one's going to surprise some of you because it might sound like it's not a big enough reason to end a relationship. But a lot of couples, when they end up in the divorce lawyer's office, say a variation of, we just grew apart, or we don't have anything in common anymore, or we don't talk anymore. I'm lonely. I'm bored. I want more fun. I want more passion. I want more excitement. I love them, but I'm not in love with them anymore. Let me repeat that one. None of us want to hear that. I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. So that's the second main reason couples divorce or break up, is a slow erosion. Usually it's slow for this one, where you get complacent, you get lazy, you're being boring with and in your relationship. When's the last time you dazzled your sweetheart, swept them off their feet with a special romantic date, a spontaneous, beautiful gift, a sexy seduction? We get very lazy and complacent in long-term relationship. We take our partners for granted, and all too often I've had one half of a couple in my office sobbing their hearts out, male, female, gay, straight, LGBTQ, whoever you love, however you love, you're my people. If you love in my office, one of you saying, they've said it's too late. I want to fix it, but they say it's too late. They've been asking me for years to pay more attention to them. They've been asking me for years to be more thoughtful, to be more romantic, and they say it's too late. They're looking for someone else. That's the second major reason couples break up. The first, some variation on crap communication, avoiding tough stuff, fighting about tough stuff, not knowing how to apologize, and more. This is my life's work. You'll hear in that Passion Masterclass that I hope all of you are going to join me on. It's free. It's an amazing 90-minute dive into the model I'm talking about today. I'll also, in that class, talk to you about my 12-week immersion program for couples. Some of you I know are already on the wait list for that. I take a small group of couples. This year, we're kicking off on November 3rd. Yay! On a 12-week journey with a lot of teaching, weekly access to me, weekly calls. I answer your questions to really renovate your relationship. So you're going to hear a lot more about that in the next few weeks. But I know you're aching to hear the third reason. The third reason people tend to break up, drift apart, divorce if you're married, etc., is in the sensual and sexual realm. Lack of sexual connection, no desire, being in a sexless relationship, which is clinically defined as making love 6 or fewer times a year. About 30% of you watching or watching this later on replay, that you fall into that category. Sexual desire disconnect, sexual incompatibility grows over time if we don't nurture and pay attention to our sexual life. So those are the big three. And I have the antidotes. These are the antidotes based on the best marriage research, couples research, communication theory, sexuality research, and more. This has been my life work for 30 years, and many of my incredible colleagues who give bonus teachings in the 12-week program for you and with me. This is what we know. And I boil it down to a model that is kind of a unique take on it. We all have different ways of categorizing things. This one seems to work really well for the couples I get the honor to work with. I call it the 3 keys to passion, or the passion triangle. And these are the antidotes to these 3 reasons we break up or are staying together but bloody miserable. The first one is you've got to work on your intimacy, your communication, your knowing each other, feeling like your partner's your best friend, like they've always got your back. They know what's going well in your life. They listen with care and attention to what you're struggling and worrying about. You're able to talk about tough things and joyful things. You can go deeply. If you're emotionally triggered, you can manage that. You know how to apologize. You know how to reconnect after you communicate. You know how to work with old wounds and speak in ways that can help heal them. I call that the intimacy side of the passion triangle. 4 to 5 weeks of my 12-week program, we do deep dive on helping you with these fundamental skills that aren't fundamental because no one teaches us this. Some of you may have learned some of it on your own, and I applaud you for it. A very small few of you may have had parents, may have had family dynamics that modeled beautiful communication. The rest of us are bozos on the bus trying to figure it out. So the first antidote to breaking up, to misery, is really learning the C word, learning how to communicate. Is it fun? Not always. Is it easy? Almost never. But these are teachable skills. You can hear couples from my program talk about the amazing impact it's had on them. I'll link you to some of their testimonials below this video as well. The second key to passion, the second side of the passion triangle, as I like to name it, is called thrill. Now, thrill is the excitement, the falling in love, the butterflies, the opposite of that second reason people split up. We grew apart. I love them, but I'm not in love with them anymore. I just don't feel any spark, any excitement. I'm bored. We're kind of living parallel lives. We're taking care of the kids and the house, and we're not really connecting together. That I call under the general category of thrill. How do we recreate the thrill we may have lost? How do you look at your partner with fresh eyes and excitement here and now, as they are here and now? We work on that in the Passion Masterclass and in the 12-week program as well. The third side of the passion triangle, the third key to passion, I call sensuality. We've got intimacy, which is communication and psychological closeness, emotional trust, etc. We've got thrill, excitement, romancing each other, having fun dates, being spontaneous, laughing your butts off together, joyful stuff, the stuff so many of us did well in the beginning of our relationship, and many of us haven't kept it up. Shame on us. Well, no shame. We don't do shame here, but kick yourself in the butt and say, I can do better. I deserve better. My partner deserves better. And our love deserves better. And the third side, all things sensual and sexual, the sensuality side of the passion triangle. And yes, I'm talking about sex. I'm also talking about cuddling, Do you hug goodbye? Do you kiss hello? Do you like to hold hands when you go for a walk? When we drive anywhere, we went to a theater, a play the other night. My sweetheart was driving and I had my hand on his knee. And generally, whoever's driving, the other one has our hand on each other's knee or on the back of our neck. We just love to be in contact. It calms your physiology, it opens your heart, and it makes you feel more specially connected to each other. So, the three reasons we break up and the three antidotes. The antidotes to a lot of relationship misery. And this is hard work. It's not a quick fix. I wish I could create a quick fix. I'd share it with myself first and all of you 1 second later. But when we develop better intimacy and communication and conflict resolution, when we develop and really make it intentional to surprise our partner, romance our partner, be more sweet, more loving, more connected, when we work on our sensual life, you'll hear more about that in upcoming videos, how to do that, we're happier. Don't take my word for it. Check out some of the testimonials from the couples. We'll link to the testimonial page below who've taken my program, who talk about not having made love for 2 decades, one couple who then became sexual through doing the work I offer. But for now, I want to let you know I'm going to be showing up here live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time for the next few weeks. Feel free to join me live. You can put your question in the chat box. You can put your question in the comment below this video when it's archived and not live anymore. And I'll do my best to answer your questions live. And make sure you choose your time for one of those 4 Passion Masterclasses I'll be teaching, kicking off on Tuesday, the 24th of October. Mwah. Bye for now.